So our next Fair Vote presenter is our senior staff attorney, Drew Spencer.
Thanks. An elected government should reflect all of its voters. But if you're a Democrat living in a place that only elects Republicans, or a Republican living in a place that only elects Democrats, or an independent voter just about anywhere, you know that that's not how it is today. We won't get to 227 million voters when so many feel like their votes can't really impact the government. The problem is each area only elects one person, and so only one group of people in each area can actually elect a candidate that they like. Take Esperanza. Like many of her neighbors, she votes for Republicans and independents, but she lives in Massachusetts, and every congressional district in Massachusetts has elected a Democrat in every election for 2 decades. It's no consolation to Esperanza that Democrats in Oklahoma are in the same situation she is. She deserves actual representation, and she doesn't have it. This is not just the way it is. These are because of the rules that politicians have passed, making how we vote depend on what district they draw us into. We can do better than that. There are ways of electing more than one person at a time, so that even when people disagree with each other about important issues, everyone has a real chance to elect a candidate that they can identify with. We call these fair representation voting. So, for example, in Massachusetts, most voters prefer Democrats, so of course Democrats would win most of the seats. But Esperanza and people like her would be able to come together to elect a candidate they like too, one that would actually respond to their interests and their values. Nationally, almost every voter would have someone in Congress from their community who they could identify with. All it would take is erasing district lines and giving voters a more potent way to vote, as simple as ranking the candidates in order of how much you like them. This doesn't require a constitutional amendment, and it respects values like one person, one vote, and majority rule. We already have a long history of doing it. We've elected more than one candidate at a time for Congress and for state legislatures, and fair representation voting is proven in city elections around the country. Fair representation voting makes good sense for city councils, for your state legislature, and yes, for Congress. Find out more at fairvote.org and about Congress at fairvoting.us.
Thank you, Drew.